Your brain is being rewired. Not metaphorically, literally. Every scroll, every notification, every purchase, every comparison. You're training your neural pathways to work in a certain way. And Erich Fromm understood something neuroscience is only now confirming. The having mode doesn't just change how you think, it changes who you are at the level of consciousness itself. And the scariest part? You're not aware it's happening.
When you consume, when you acquire, when you achieve status, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same chemical released during other reward behaviors: food, sex, winning, drugs. Your brain doesn't differentiate between them. A dopamine spike is a dopamine spike. And your brain, being adaptive, starts to crave the behavior that triggers it. This is neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated behavior. The pathways you use most become stronger. The ones you don't use weaken. So when you spend hours scrolling, comparing, consuming, you're literally strengthening the neural networks associated with those behaviors, and the networks associated with deep focus, presence, and contentment are weakening from disuse. But here's what's important. This isn't just about willpower or addiction. It's about the fundamental architecture of your consciousness, who you are, your ability to focus, to feel satisfied, to experience presence, is being shaped by your habits. Tech companies have spent billions understanding one thing: how to capture and monetize your attention. And they've become frighteningly good at it. The platforms you use daily, they're not free services. You're the product. Your attention is what's being sold. And the system is designed at every level to be as addictive as possible. Infinite scroll, notifications that interrupt focus, algorithms that learn what triggers you emotionally and feed you more of it, social validation through likes and comments, variable rewards that are scientifically proven to be more addictive than consistent rewards. Every feature is designed to hijack your attention and sell it to advertisers. And because it's working at the level of emotion and attention, not just behavior, it's rewiring your consciousness. You're becoming incapable of boredom, incapable of sustained focus, incapable of being alone with your thoughts, because your attention has been colonized. Something subtle and devastating happens when you live in the having mode. Your sense of self starts to dissolve. You're not you anymore. You're a consumer of experiences, a curator of identity, a personal brand. Fromm called this the marketing personality, the person who has internalized consumerism so deeply that they've become a commodity, even to themselves. Think about how you present yourself online. The filtered photos, the curated stories, the version of your life designed to generate engagement. At first, it feels like a choice, a presentation layer. But the longer you do it, the more that layer becomes real. You start to become the curated version, and you lose touch with the actual, unfiltered, unglamorous you. The self that emerges in the having mode isn't a self at all. It's a collection of purchased identities. The clothes you wear, the aesthetic you curate, the lifestyle you display. And underneath all of that, an increasing emptiness, a growing alienation from authentic self, because you've outsourced your identity to the market. Fromm understood that authenticity requires a certain kind of vulnerability. It requires not caring what others think. It requires being okay with being unmarketable. But the having mode demands the opposite. It demands constant self-presentation, constant optimization, constant awareness of how you're being perceived. So what happens? Authenticity erodes. You're so busy being the person you think others want to see that you stop being anyone real. And this isn't just uncomfortable, it's psychologically damaging. Research on authenticity shows that people who are forced to perform identities over time develop anxiety, depression, and a sense of unreality. They feel like imposters in their own lives. The having mode trains your mind toward shallowness. Everything becomes content to consume. Everything is evaluated for utility or status. You can't just listen to music. You listen while checking your phone. You can't just read. You read headlines. You can't just connect with someone. You're mentally preparing how you'll describe it later on social media. Erich Fromm called this pseudo-engagement. You're going through the motions of connection, learning, experiencing, but you're not present. And because you're not present, you're not actually growing. You're not actually learning. You're not actually connecting. You're just consuming the surface of things. And because this happens repeatedly over years, your capacity for depth erodes. Your ability to sit with complexity, to be bored, to think deeply, to be alone with yourself. These capacities atrophy like unused muscles, and you become, from a psychological standpoint, shallower, thinner, less capable of the kinds of engagement that actually create meaning. And here's the trap. The more rewired you become toward consumption, the less capable you are of escaping it, because the very neural networks that could help you, focus, presence, authentic self, have been weakened. You need the capacity for presence to escape the loop, but the loop has eroded that capacity. Which is why, for Fromm, the answer isn't willpower, it's understanding. You have to understand what's happened to you before you can undo it. And that's what comes next, the real escape solution. If you like this series, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.